This is a clip from an earlier live stream. I know you're going to like it, so the link to the full video is down below. Check it out. I'll see you over there.
Dear Erica, I thought it best to do this publicly. I think public conversations keep everybody honest. And there are some things that certainly need to be clarified because sometimes the gap between the truth and the lie is what happens behind closed doors. You and Charlie began dating in earnest in 2019, and in retrospect, it was accompanied by a season of a lot of change. For one, I was getting married and virtually, therefore, joined at the hip with my fiance. He was sort of a new third wheel at all of our events. A few months later, on May 1st, the public was informed that I was resigning from my position as the communications director of Turning Point USA. Now, there has been a lot of public speculation
What does this got to do with anything?
as to what led to that decision. The media ran with.
I'm gonna make a bet. Here it comes. She is going to allude that Erica Kirk is the reason why she got fired. If she does not allude to that, I will drop 10 gifted memberships. I think that's where she's going to go.
It was anti-Semitism or some disagreement about Kanye West, but that wasn't true. None of that was true. The truth, and I think that you very well know what the truth is, because you were around for it, is that Charlie and I had a disagreement which fractured my trust in him. He did something that he had never done before. He lied to my face about money. Now, in retrospect, I believe that the manner in which I discovered the lie might have been by design, but there's no need for us to delve into conspiracy when the facts are plenty enough. Charlie had taken a meeting down in Florida with Ike Perlmutter at Mar-a-Lago. It was a fundraising meeting. For whatever reason, he did not want me to know about this meeting, and that was strange. It was meant to be kept a secret.
Wow. Somebody, you know what? Hey, here, I'm just going to drop 10 memberships. I'm sorry. Why? I'm dumbfounded. This woman is airing out Charlie Kirk. We said it. Y'all, this is the best live chat for a reason. There is a reason this is the best live chat. There is a reason this is the most electrifying comment section on the planet. We said that she was going to eventually attack Charlie Kirk and his legacy directly. Wow. Let me just do this real quick. I'm just giving out 10 memberships. Now, they just go out in general. There's no way for me to give them out specifics. So shout out to all those people that just got new memberships. Shout out to the best live chat on the internet. That is absolutely insane. Wow. That is some grade A grimy behavior. Yo, if you still rock with Candace, then that's on you. You doing that on your own. It is not because you are led on by the Spirit of God. That is for sure. Oh my gosh. That is some nasty word. Okay, let her finish, Jason. Let her finish. This is going to be a long show. Somebody told me stop stopping. I'm trying to stop stopping.
Strange because we had always collaborated on and taken those sorts of meetings together. Anyway, I found out about it and I decided to ask him casually as we were riding up an elevator at the Trump Hotel in DC. I said to him, have you heard from Ike recently? And he looked me right in the face just as he was getting off on his floor. And he said, no, I haven't. I haven't heard from him in like 2 weeks. And I then said back to him, really, Charlie, because you had lunch with him yesterday at Mar-a-Lago. And I saw his stomach drop. His entire face looked, as if he was going down a roller coaster. He stuck his arm back in the elevator really quickly and tried to explain it away. He then pivoted toward an apology, but obviously the damage was done. And if I'm being honest, I was as hurt as I was.
Hold on. Hold up. Stop the press and hear me. I'm going to try not to stop a lot. So now all of a sudden we got this story about how her and Charlie had this falling out and he lied to her face. Look at her facial expressions. This is anger. that she's exuding. But before, she was making it sound like they was love interests almost. All of a sudden, a new story is coming out. Y'all, come on. And why does this matter is $1,000 question. She's the victim. That's crazy work, y'all.
Shocked and confused by it because we were close. We did go back down to the lobby. We sat at a table and we talked. I don't even remember whether or not I was angry. I probably was. That does tend to be my choice emotion. But deep down, there was a part of me that knew that it was coming because of a lot of the new hires that were coming into Turning Point USA post Kanye tweet. Charlie had new people in his ear that were hijacking his ambition, making him believe that money was the truest measure of success. Charlie was a brilliant fundraiser. Everybody knows that, but he was also young. He was naive to what the wrong money could invite into his life. And I warned him. I warned him in that restaurant. I warned him specifically about Stacey Sheridan. Everything about her made my skin crawl. And I suspected she and Tyler had something to do with it. I also warned him about Schaefer Security and Dan Flood. You can check the text messages because you have them. And now I am left wondering, obviously.
Why don't you show them, Candace?
My advice.
Let's go back.
Still be alive.
Let's go back and listen to that. Let's go back to that and go back to the body language panel. Show your evidence. And we've been yelling this for months, right? So this is not new here on the best live chat on the planet. We've been saying this. Show the evidence, Candace. Stop saying, well, you got the text messages. Show us the text messages. Show us. Like, do that. Because you're making, again, Eric and them are not talking. They're not talking to you. And I think they listen to what we said over here. Stop communicating with her. So, ma'am, why don't you do that? This woman is out of control. Oh my gosh. This is some nasty work.
I've also come to another realization that I missed at that time.
That I missed.
The newest and the biggest influence in his ear. Who was that, obviously? It was you. You were the newest and biggest influence in Charlie's life. You kind of all arrived at the same time.
Wow.
And you too, Erica, you lied to my face as we sat down in that hotel and we spoke for 4 hours. But I want to be clear, it was different. You see, with Charlie, I could forgive him. We were always like brother and sister. We went on tours thereafter. But you didn't do it when you lied. You didn't do it out of naivety. You didn't do it because you were young and being pulled into the wrong direction by bad faith actors. Andrew Colvett was never going rogue. You knew that. Every single evil thing that was done to me was done with your blessing. And I consider the onslaught of attacks that I had to endure, they were evil. Because you knew I was telling the truth, and you authorized people with an incredible amount of money to attack one of the few people in politics who was actually grieving your husband. You knew we had a deep friendship. You knew I was telling the truth about the Catholic thing, about everything. You allowed these people to lie and to say that Charlie and I hadn't spoken since 2019. I mean, it's crazy how much of a lie that was.
Where's the proof, though?
Know that. The question...
Why don't you show evidence that y'all have spoken? That would put the kibosh on it. Because I don't think Erica is saying that. But that's neither here nor there. Show us, Candace, that you actually had communication with Charlie Kirk since 2019. Show your evidence. It seems simple. It doesn't seem like something that's hard to do. Why don't you just do it? Instead of saying, Erica, you need to tell people that I did. Why don't you just show it? Just show the work. Maybe the work doesn't exist.
Why? It was so cruel. It was so mean, right? Why impart that on someone who you know within a sea of snakes actually cared about Charlie and didn't want anything out of the organization? Maybe it's because I was like a loose end. One person that wasn't controlled by an organization. I'd just kind of proven that I'd rather lose everything to say something that I don't believe, least of all for money. I mean, maybe it's also because you have his phone. And when I revealed to the public that he had predicted his own death in remarkable detail, maybe you went back and you read the rest of those messages, the ones that I haven't yet revealed to the public, because in retrospect, those messages they're pretty terrifying because they're precise and it feels prophetic.
Why don't you just go ahead and do it? Instead of telling us that, just show them. Put the evidence out there. Put it on your website with the Egyptian plane raw data, and we can see it ourselves. You're just telling us, oh, I know this text messages are out there that are really bad. Oh, you're going to be offended. You're going to be terrified when you see it. It's horrible. It's shocking. Why don't you just show it? And Erica doesn't have to do anything. Show it.
Charlie was gifted. You know that. I know that. And the government most certainly.
Oh, the X-Men.
Well, since he was a kid, which is why it was at least very interesting to me that you told the New York Times, something that most people didn't pay attention to, but you told the New York Times the night before his murder, Charlie's, and I'm going to quote this, you said that Charlie's adrenal glands were just going off. He couldn't
Adrenal.
I know enough about Charlie to know what that means. That means that Charlie was being bothered. He was probably having visions like he was in 2018, probably a clearer vision than the one that I had that you guys tried to mock, that danger was coming. And I'm going to go ahead and say that it wasn't about a Jezebel article written by some leftist. Please stop saying that because it's not true. I know Charlie, a leftist article didn't upset him in this way. Didn't make him call a priest to pray over him. He thought someone was going to kill him. He did. He expressed that in writing. And you did not lose those text messages. You knew that. Charlie and I spoke a lot about his third eye. That's why that sentence caught my attention in the article. He spoke about the street lamps that would go off when he would run, about the special school that he had to go to. We spoke about a lot of the things that were strange in our childhood, the testing that both of us had to endure. We spoke about the fact that we could both astral project. You know all of this, of course. You have his phone. And how surprised we were when we learned that not everybody does that naturally. Sleep paralysis, you name it. We had conversations about it. And if Charlie's adrenal glands were going off.
Adrenal.
It was probably maybe for the very same reason that I pulled my kids out of school days before he was murdered, because I sensed danger was coming. And since we are being open, I also want you to know that it struck me as odd when you said in that interview with Jesse Waters that you wanted Charlie to have a good night's sleep. He was so excited. So you sent him to sleep in his daughter's room. You know, it just registered to me as a little bit backwards. If I wanted my husband to have a good night's sleep because of something he had the next day, I'd probably let him sleep in the room, and I would sleep in my daughter's room. Flag that.
I'm making a judgment call. I'm making a judgment call, y'all. I'm sorry. This woman is vile. I really can't do that. I'm sorry. I'm not going to sit there and judge a woman, judge a man who lost their spouse based upon my interpretation of how they should behave. I know you liked that episode. This is actually a clip from a larger live stream. The link is down in the description, so you can go check it out. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you down there. Grace and peace.